This is the 3-time Impact Wrestling X Division champion, the newest member of Bullet Club. I am the inevitable Ace Austin. And right now I want you to check out something on YouTube for me. If you're looking for some wrestling content on YouTube, go ahead and head over to the NatioNetwork. All right, they got some old school, they got some new school, and I'm willing to bet, chances are they've got something that you'll like, and that is inevitable.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Vince McShane with you here. This is the Nation Network, dealing with some technical crap as usual. This is the launch of a brand new program we're going to do here called Pro Wrestling Illustrated. Relive and remember. So we're going to go through a random episode, or a random issue, I should said, of a PWI or PWI based magazine. They had several. In this case, we are going through, and I try getting some screenshots and stuff, and for some reason, which we'll kind of touch on in a minute, I can't get them to go through. I don't have a scanner, so I basically took some photos, edited them up, then I emailed them to myself, but it won't go through. I've got some more stories to follow on that, but we're going to start with April of 1987, and this is a probably familiar cover for a lot of you, and this is right after Nikita Koloff, or shortly after Nikita Koloff, decided to defect and join the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. To join me in the discussion will be our friend D-Train, who's in the house. Say hello, D-Train.
Oh, sorry, my mic was muted. What's up, my man?
No, you're supposed to actually say hi, D-Train.
Oh, hi, D-Train. No, hell no.
Say hello, D-Train. Hi, D-Train. That's how that works. That's an old one. That's from the shit. I don't even remember who that was. George and Gracie, I think. Yeah. Say goodnight, Gracie. Good night, Gracie. I wasn't around for that, but I remember it anyway. Yeah, where to even start with lately? So I canceled my Netflix months ago. They got too left and too woke for me and didn't decide they don't need my money. So I canceled. I've had an AOL account that goes back so many years I can't remember. And I hardly ever use it, but lately I've actually needed it. It's the only reason I've even noticed what happened yesterday. So while I'm going through it yesterday, at one point I had like 2,000 emails, deleted almost every one of them. And now that it's down to like a manageable number of 10 or so, I see all of a sudden this email pop up from my Netflix saying that, okay, we've changed your email address as you requested, and we've changed your phone number now, ending in 70. And I'm like, somebody's playing with you, but it ain't me. So I call them as a courtesy to let them know, don't try charging me for anything. I canceled you all months ago. I'm not gonna. And the guy agrees, no problem. I'll give you a credit. It's a credit. Did you actually charge my card? And son of a bitch, if they didn't. He says, just so you know, the only way that we could have done that, the only way that could have happened is somebody had to have access to your email account. That's a little unsettling. Well, the odd part now is I can't email myself the pictures from the book. It's not showing that it was sent. It's certainly not being received. And I've used it that way in the past for other things that I couldn't necessarily, because again, I have no scanner. So, yeah, that's exactly how I feel about it.
Maybe your email got hacked?
So I went and changed the password on it. I mean, there ain't no one guessing that email or that password at this point in time. But I know there's some people out there that are pretty good at doing shit, and I'm just hoping that I don't have bigger issues to worry about right now than I think of. Jason Pruitt's in the house. Welcome aboard, buddy. By the way, I was going to ask you guys, looking back at the last stream a little bit, I kind of like having the music playing lightly in the background, but what do you guys think about that?
I don't know. After a while, I didn't even notice it was there. I knew it was there.
That's how I felt. Otherwise, it's just kind of like dead air. I'm going to leave it there.
Yeah, I didn't see that lightly. That's not so bad.
Yeah, I kind of think it adds something to it.
That's you.
We'll see.
That was our favorite too, the rock and roll one. Yep.
Yeah, it's the only good one they got. The rest of them suck. I'm not
Yeah,
going to
so
upload something, but so as you can tell, I went and spent the money. So here's the confusion from yesterday about the $20 a month versus $25. It's $20 a month if you pay the year up front.
yeah. Oh yeah.
And I thought about it as like, here's the deal: $25 doesn't kill me. $240 doesn't kill me, but I feel it.
Yeah, I know. That's where I was at too. It's like, yeah, it'd be cheaper if you did the year, but it's like, what if something happens
and you don't want it anymore? Exactly. So I'm doing the $25 variety.
Yeah, at least give it a good month, see how you feel about it,
and I'm already liking it. But I got so much stuff lined up already for the next week or two that I feel like I'm going to definitely get some use out of it. And just what we did the other day was so much fun that I want to make sure that we can keep doing stuff like that. And like this wouldn't be as good. Sorry, I'm getting text messages from work. This wouldn't be as good if it was on OBS. OBS has its place as well, but live interaction, not so much. I'm sure there is a way to do it. What the heck is this? I have no idea what I'm looking at. Oh, now I do. Okay. There's never an off day. There just isn't.
So this is going to be covering basically some old PWIs and stuff, huh?
Yeah, we're just going to pick one out. And again, I took some photos of stuff that I was going to be posting up here as well. But I can't send them to myself to get them onto the computer. And I have no way of scanning in the magazine because I have no scan.
You can log in using your phone, too.
That's what I did. Well, say it again now?
No, I was saying, you can use your phone, too, to upload stuff to this program and that. It's like if you had your pictures on your phone, you could just...
Which I do.
From your album right to the thing.
Into what thing? Like, in other words, I'm using my PC.
The overlay is actually like a picture. So, like, just grabbed a random picture, you put it in that overlay section, you could add it on the screen anytime you wanted to.
Right, but I'm running this on my PC.
Oh, okay.
That's the dilemma. I'm not using my phone to do all my streaming and stuff. I do this on my PC. So my question is, how do I get it from my phone, which is where I have the pictures? How do I get it into the PC if I can't email them to myself? The big question is, why can I suddenly not email them?
You could essentially log into it on your phone just to upload the pictures.
Really? You got to download an app for that, I'm presuming? The same app?
Nope.
No?
No, just go to StreamYard.com, put your login, and boom. I can teach you that off camera, too, if you need be.
Yeah, we'll maybe do that for the next one then, because, yeah, having enough fun as it is right now.
That's right, no problem.
All right, so let's get into this anyway. As we said, on the cover, we've got the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, and Nikita Koloff. Dusty is at that time the television champion, although he didn't hold that title very long at that point in time. He took it from Arn for a cup of coffee. And Nikita did hold the U.S. title for a little bit of time, though.
This is what year? 85, 86?
This is 87, I believe, right?
Is it 87?
87, April of 87, which means...
All right. April of 87, all right.
Probably haven't really in March, because it's always like a month and a half late.
Oh, yeah.
This ain't like nowadays. You don't have the live time stuff. By the way, I know we're going to be off subject already, but I feel like we have to. What the fuck with AEW?
I'm going to assume you're going to go to the Punk situation, right?
Is there anything else worth talking about?
I don't know. I thought that 6-man tag was pretty out there, but I got a complaint about that too. But the Punk thing, yeah, that was really random.
Was it?
When I thought that might be his way out, but now I'm hearing that they probably are having a rematch at the pay-per-view. So I don't know what is the plan. Unless
so let's assume that's the case, because other people are saying that as well, that they're still going with the pay-per-view main event, which we kind of thought might be the case, but that they were going to do something with a no finish, because now it's not a unification match.
Correct. My bold prediction, I guess, out of this is maybe Punk cheats to win and becomes a bad guy. Would be really weird.
How mean? Can you imagine him aligning with MJF after their history?
I don't know. I think if MJF comes back, he might be a good guy. The fans might be cheering him too much to be a bad guy. I don't know.
Yeah, that never stopped him before.
True. Well, true. Very, very, very true. But, I mean, if they really want to switch things up. But I don't know. I know it's got everybody talking because it's like, what in the hell are they doing?
Because it's not that he lost. It was a squash match. So if he loses in 3 minutes because of this ongoing injury to his foot, how is he healthy enough to win the title back in what, a week's time, 2 weeks' time?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Next weekend already. Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you play that off? I don't know.
No idea.
To me, it reeks of bullshit.
I knew when it wasn't the main event, I knew something was going to happen, but I sure didn't expect
that was
it
the
to
other
be,
thing, too.
3 minutes.
Yeah, when I heard that they said in our main event, the 6-man, I said, how in the hell? You've got a world title unification match, and you're trying to tell me that's not your main event? I don't know.
I mean, obviously, the way they put it, it made sense at the end, but yeah.
Jason seems to think that Punk has to be a heel at this point.
Well, he always said...
Where's the pay-per-view? The pay-per-view's in Chicago?
Yep.
Well, he ain't going to be a heel there, that's for damn sure. I mean, he can do anything he wants, and he's not going to be the heel.
I mean, even remember when he first showed up in AEW, he was saying about basically how the fans are cheering. He was like, oh, I'm sure that's going to change eventually. Almost kind of like along those lines. And
yeah, but not in Chicago, it ain't. They're going to stay true to him.
Unless he aligns with somebody that's a bad guy enough that people hate. Unless MJ, I don't know. I don't want to get too off handle, but I think the Punk heel turn is probably where they're going to go with this.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Again, I wasn't even planning on talking AEW, but how do you not after what happened last night? Well, time to. I guess we'll find. I mean, does that make anyone want to pay for the pay-per-view any more than they may have before? Because I know I wasn't getting it, and I'm still not getting it.
I have to admit, it's not one of the best built pay-per-views that they've had. I don't see a match like there. I'm like, oh my god, it's a must-see.
I was just going to say, is there a match on that card that anyone really cares about? I don't. But I really just feel like they've lost control of that thing in a very short time. They were doing well, but then, man, I don't know how he let it get that far out of hand.
And considering what they added, like 4 matches or 5 matches to the pay-per-view last night, like it's like rush, boom, 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 boom. It's like, what the hell are they doing?
And then Thunder Rosa giving up the title. Have we heard anything about what injury she sustained?
No, first there was a rumor, she got suspended for something, but they're like, no, it was a legit injury, whatever it was. I don't know.
And then all of a sudden it's going to be another interim champion deal, which...
Yeah, as soon as I heard that, I was like...
I mean, I kind of get the logic. You just did it for him. It looks terrible optic-wise if you didn't do it for her. But it gets old fast, man.
Well, they did it for all the titles. Remember, Sammy Guevara was the interim champion, I think,
TNT. Yep.
Yeah.
The TNT
title.
I mean,
this is the 3rd one they've done this year. It's kind of getting...
Which goes to say just how many injuries are taking place as well. I mean, this has been a devastating year for injuries across many promotions. Everyone's taking major hits this year.
Yeah, and they're all big names, too. It's not like it's no offense to the...
no,
like
but I mean, these are
the
guys putting asses in the seats and selling events. So that's got to hurt your bottom line. Andrew Roberts, welcome aboard. We're actually talking about Pro Wrestling Illustrated from April of '87. Don't let the current discussion distract you from that. All right, let's start out. I thought there was something else earlier on in the magazine, but we're going to jump here to page.
It's always interesting to see those ranking systems.
So, yeah, one of my favorites is exactly what you're talking about. So we've got the top 10s, and then we got the other federation's top 10s right there.
Well, you actually have the magazine.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm just going to pull a random one out of the box.
Oh wow, you still have those? Holy
Oh, dude,
cow.
I've got boxes. I said it's coming out of the archives. I wasn't lying.
No, I guess not. I mean, I used to have all the WWF magazines, but
I got every one of them. First to last, back when it was Victory magazine.
oh god, yes.
Yep.
So this is something awesome.
Yeah. So I took pictures of this stuff thinking I could bring it on here so that while I'm looking at it, you all would see it. But again, I'm having issues emailing myself, which makes me wonder what else might be wrong with that account. Now, AOL says they have a customer support line, but it's a fee involved. And I'm like, bullshit. For all I know, you sons of bitches did this.
Never know. Never know.
Well, they're a majorly left-leaning company. So it wouldn't be hard for them to know what my position is. And I already lost a Facebook account to alleged hackers. And I'm like, yeah, sure, hackers. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No
I
comment
haven't
on
talked to any
Facebook.
Democrats that had their accounts hacked.
No comment on Facebook. I plead the fifth.
There you go.
Nothing good to say. Anyways, yeah.
Me neither. Jason over here, MJF comes back. He'll be a face. Well, again, he don't seem to want that role. And, you know, as much as we may cheer him, he's going to just piss all over that every single chance. And he's the one guy that can stay heel.
Yeah, it's like I always said to everybody I talked to, I said, pardon my words, but he's the best prick in the business.
He is.
He is.
Even autograph signings, I mean, you can tell he's in character, but it's still, he does it cool.
He's telling 10-year-old kids to get
Yes.
the F out. And...
Yeah.
I mean,
Taking a picture with the middle finger up, I mean, it's perfect. Jason says that she, and I'm going to presume we're talking about Thunder Rosa, left social media on her actual Twitter account. Her husband has taken it over. What the fuck?
Unless maybe there's some personal stuff going on behind the scenes.
I wonder how bad it could be. I don't know. I'm sure time will tell.
Yeah, I haven't read anything today. I read a lot of things, but
I haven't had a chance to look at anything today. My sister's in from New York, so we're spending a little bit of time together, and I haven't looked at a video on YouTube or nothing. All right, so let's do some. Let me get this light over here so I can see some more. Pro Wrestling Illustrated's top 10 back in April of '87. I feel like David Letterman doing the top 10 list. At number 10, Jake the Snake Roberts.
1987. So this is like WrestleMania 3, right? That era?
About that. Yep.
Okay, all right.
Number 9. Want to take a wild guess now that you go at number 10 and the time frame?
Oh, God. I'm going to guess it's somebody from a different promotion like the NWA.
I'll give you a hint. It's not.
Oh, God. Hopefully it's not anybody from the AWA.
It's the same promotion. I'm going to give you a lot of help here.
So it is from the WWF. Jake the Snake. Maybe Ricky Steamboat? No, he'd be a little higher, maybe. I'll say Steamboat just for
Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff. Made number 9 in April of '87.
Why wasn't he at WrestleMania 3?
Probably. He wasn't even in. No, he was in WrestleMania 2, the opening match. Goes from main event to curtain jerk.
Oh, is he gone? Oh, okay. All right. Well, all right.
He's got number 9. Number 8 from the NWA.
Oh, God. If you give me 3 options, I could probably guess it.
All right. Let me see here.
That's
Lex
hard.
Luger, Nikita Koloff, Dusty Rhodes.
Well, it's definitely not Dusty. He's probably a little bit higher. I'll say Nikita at this point.
Number 8, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes.
Wow. Okay, well.
There you go. Number 7, representing the AWA.
Oh, my God. I'd like to think it was Kurt Hennig, but it's probably Nick Bockwinkel.
It is Nick Bockwinkel. Well done. Ding, 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 ding. Actually, where's my sound effect machine here? Oh.
I'm not going to predict these as well as I do your 2K matches, but
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Bing, bing, bing.
Nick Bockwinkel. Good man. Nice gentleman, too.
Yeah, and classy wrestler. I mean, that guy really did it right. Number 6, WCCW.
Oh, my God. It's got to be probably Kerry Von Erich at that point, right?
Damn, you were close. Kevin Von Erich.
Really? Well, Kevin,
That's what's written here, man. That brings us to number 5, representing the NWA.
God. Ric Flair's got to be in the top 3, so it can't be him. Right? Sting? No. I don't think Sting was getting his... Tully Blanchard? Arn Anderson?
Final answer? You want to
Barry
follow
Windham? I don't know. There's so much talent back then. It's kind of like...
That's why I like doing this stuff, because it used to be this way. Walter Johnson says hello.
Or could it be Luger? I'm going to say Luger just for the hell of it, but...
Survey says... Lex Luger.
Okay.
We've got a winner. Walter Johnson says hello.
Hey, what's up, Walter?
All right, that brings us to number 4, also representing the NWA.
Damn. So, Dusty, no way Nikita was right higher than Dusty. Number 4 we're talking about? Oh, God.
Number 4.
Can't be Ric Flair, right? He's got to be in the top 3 at that time.
I'm enjoying this.
I know. I mean, it's a lot to think back to see who was kind of like on top back then and who was Magnum TA still wrestling around that time? Because I'm going to say him, but I can't remember if that was before or after the injury now.
So your answer is Magnum TA in the number 4 spot?
But I'm probably wrong. Pretty sure of it.
That is incorrect. The number 4 spot goes to Nikita Koloff.
Wow, he was rated higher than Dusty Rhodes.
Significantly.
Wow.
That brings us to the number 3 spot, representing the World Wrestling Federation.
Got to be, I'm going to say Macho Man, right?
You think it's Macho Man in the number 3?
He was the Intercontinental Champion. I'm going to say yeah.
There's a winner. Macho Man Randy Savage at number 3. Number 2, I'm not going to mention leagues at this point in time.
So it's between Hogan and Flair. Could Ric Flair actually be number 2 on this list? Yeah, I'm going to say it was Ric Flair number 2, and I know I'm wrong, but Ric Flair.
You're right that you're wrong.
It's Hogan.
Hulk Hogan is number 2.
Yep.
And that leaves Ric Flair at the top of the list in the Pro Wrestling Illustrated top 10.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Hogan was just starting to really build as the champion. Flair was ready. Yep.
And if it helps at all when we do the tag team version of this.
Oh, God.
This is for the period ending December 6th of 1986. My God, they were behind the schedule here.
Yeah, I'd say. So that leaves out teams like Demolition
January,
and stuff
February,
like that.
March, April. That's 4 months behind. Holy cow. Y'all better, for you younger folks, you better appreciate the internet.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Because you'd be seeing house results from way back. And the results page, I remember that too.
Well, we're going to get to that. That was my favorite part of the magazine.
Yep, that and the rankings for me, but the rankings didn't seem to change too much. But
no, it didn't really have much. It had more in the NWA. When I moved here from New York, I had not been able to see the NWA so much, and they seemed to give credit to the top 10 rankings a little bit more, where the WWF didn't give a rat's ass about anything. Whatever, going to put an ass in the seat and sell a ticket. All right, so now that we have that December deadline as a cutoff point, and we talk about the tag teams, coming in at number 10, representing the AWA.
oh my God, that's either gonna be Buddy Rose and Doug Summers or the Midnight Rockers. Those are the only 2 teams I could think of. '87. I'll say the Rockers. Midnight Rockers, of course.
The answer is Playboy Buddy Rose and Doug Summers. At least you had them in the conversation.
It doesn't say if they were the champions at the time, does it?
No, I don't think it does. Let me see. It doesn't mention. I don't see the champion marking next to anybody, so I'm going to say no.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay.
Jason Pruitt says, yeah, I remember trying to keep up with what was going on in the magazine as it appeared on TV. Yep. All right. I posted the link up there. If anyone else wants to jump in, I'm thinking this would be a fun head-to-head competition to see who gets the answer in first.
Yeah, no kidding, right? See, this would be a good contest, man. You could always have competitions where you have a couple of people on screen.
Yeah.
You could do a lot of different things.
We could do like a tournament of it after 5 episodes of this. Then, the winners go head-to-head or something.
Hey, if this means anything, my dog just got this out of my container. We're starting to chew on it. I'm praising him for that. The case for 2K22. Good boy.
Eat it.
Hell yeah. Good boy, Dusty. Yeah. Yes, his name was Dusty. Kind of named him.
Nice.
Yep.
That's a good name for a dog.
Well, and considering he's kind of different colored and how some people are saying how Dusty was acting a different color. Yeah. So, anyways.
I mean, a wrestling fan's dog, All right, number 9 on the tag teams. Back in December of 86, early December, first week of December.
You get a treat for
Representing, if I go too deep on this, it's going to be obvious. Well, representing Championship Wrestling from Florida.
Oh, my God. You're going to have to give me some choices on that one because I can't even remember.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I feel
well,
like
at that time, I wasn't really seeing that stuff, so now I have no idea.
I don't know if I can give you choice. Let me see who else is on this list, if there's anyone else from Florida.
Yeah, because see, 87, I was able to get AWA, NWA, WWF, and World Class. I didn't never get that stuff.
All right, here are your choices. Got the Fabulous Ones, the Shock Troop, or Barry Windham and Luger.
It's got to be the Fabulous Ones then.
Damn it, I tried to make that tougher.
Because that's the only team I knew. I was like, yeah, Fabulous Ones. Ding.
Well, Luger and Wyndham were also a big thing in Florida, and the Shock Troops were Ed the Bull Gantner and Kareem Muhammad. And they were pretty good run at that time.
Yeah, you got me on that. But yeah, okay, a Fabulous Ones makes sense.
Fabulous Ones at number 9. All right, number 8. Representing the AWA.
Now that's the Rockers.
Going with the Rockers for the AWA. Doesn't like the LOD. Okay. It is the Rockers.
I don't think they were really having a booming tag team division back then.
No, because I think the LOD had just left. And then you had Buddy Rose and Doug Summers, who must have lost the titles by then if the Rockers are above them.
Yeah, I know, like Scott Hall and Kurt Hennig were a tag team a little bit.
Yeah. And Kurt
Brinzel
Hennig and Larry the Axe Hennig.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, they did not have a strong tag team division at all. All right, that brings us up to number 7, representing the NWA.
Wow. You had the Midnight Express, you had Tully and Iron, you had definitely the Road Warriors. The Road Warriors are in the top 2 or 3. Could have been the Russians, too.
All good choices.
Yeah, there's a lot of teams. Could be the Rock and Roll Express. Ooh, I'm gonna go with the Rock and Roll Express for some reason.
Final answer?
Yeah, why not?
Good guess, but incorrect.
Yep.
Representing the Horsemen.
Iron and Tully, really?
Nope.
Iron and Tully.
There you go. December of 86. That's what the magazine says. And Bill Apter's never lied to us before.
Okay.
Once again, if you're just joining us. Oh, look who's back. Hold on just a minute. There's Jay. Bam.
There you are.
There you are. All right, Jay, now we're going into the speed round. You guys are going head-to-head with this.
All right.
See who comes. And anybody else wants to jump in, hit that link. Let's do this. We are talking about December 6, 1986, Pro Wrestling Illustrated's top 10 tag teams. We've already established Buddy Rose and Doug Summers as number 10. The Fabulous Ones, number 9. At number 8, we had the Midnight Rockers. and just now concluded that number 7 went to only an arm. That brings us up to number 6 on the list, representing the World Wrestling Federation. Ancient Clown, welcome aboard. Thanks for being here, man. Who had the number 6 spot? As soon as you know it, just say it.
Bulldogs.
Who'd you get?
That's what I
Who'd
was
you get?
thinking.
I didn't hear the answer.
British Bulldogs.
That is incorrect. It is not the British Bulldogs.
Go ahead, Jay. You take a guess.
Let's see. This is what, 87?
86.
Actually, he's
86.
It's the 87 magazine, but it's so far behind because it says for the period ending December 6th of 1986. So it took them 4 months to get it into print.
Oh,
Ancient Clown says, I don't have the mental prowess.
It's the other one.
Wild Samoans.
Oh, I like that. It's incorrect, but I like it. The
Just
correct answer.
Asian at this point because they weren't the tag champ yet.
Yeah, they were already, I think, done by then. The correct answer would be the All-American Boys. Jacques and Raymond Rougeau.
Oh.
That's when they first came in.
Really?
Hey, don't question me. I'm just reading it here.
No. I just didn't think they'd be ranked that high. They were barely there. But okay.
Well, in the beginning, they won a bunch of matches, I guess, and they got a push. And after that, it was all, yeah, you know. At number 5, representing the NWA, I guess. It could be Mid-South, depending on time of year. That time, it could have been Mid-South. UWF.
Just trying to throw us off.
I would say it was probably UWF, but either that or the NWA, because in that time frame, they probably did both.
Oh, Freebirds.
That's incorrect.
Hmm.
See.
Big guys, I bet, too.
Anything, Jay?
We've already had Ole and Arn. Let's see.
Already did Ole and Arn. Already did the Fabs. Got Playboy Buddy Rose, Doug Summers done. Midnight Rockers are done. The Rougeaus are done.
I think you're throwing me off that UWF stuff.
I'll have to take a pass. I can't think of anybody.
Then we're not thinking about the Fantastics.
Ah,
Damn it, man.
Let's see, and this is even get tougher because they had a lot of good. There was a lot of good teams around that time. So
Yeah, there was. And you got to remember, back at that point in time, the WWF tag team scene was amazing.
that was the NWA too. But I mean, yeah, WWF. But
Now, I can't figure out in 86, they would have been in the UWF because that was right. This magazine issue is the one after one of my favorite covers, which was where the UWF guys were fighting over the trophy. They were just getting ready to crown the UWF champion. So you had Dr. Death, Steve Williams, Gordy, and Buddy Roberts, and they're all fighting over the trophy on the cover. And this is like the next edition of the magazine after that, I think. So they were probably still in the UWF because they hadn't been bought out yet. All right, that brings us up to number 4, and again, representing the NWA.
well, you're probably thinking along maybe the same lines I'm thinking. Trying to think between Midnight Express, Rock and Roll. I'm gonna say Midnight Express though, but
Anything, Jay?
yeah, Midnight.
I'll go with Rock and Roll Express.
Coming in at the number 4 spot. The Cover Boys.
I didn't even consider them as a team for that long, but I guess they even did that too, even if they were a team for.
Dusty and Nikita taking the number 4 spot. All right, that brings us to number 3 and the World Wrestling Federation.
Well, that had to be the Bulldogs then, because they were right.
There you go. D-Train nailed it. The British Bulldogs coming in at number 3. Who got number 2?
Oh, he's not promotion.
I'm afraid.
Yeah, I know.
If I do say it and I'm wrong, it's going to screw it up. And if I say it and I'm right, it's going to give the answer away.
Well, it's either Road Warriors or one of the top
Yeah.
two.
Are you saying Road Warriors?
Oh, I just told one of the top two. I'm just trying to
Are you saying Road Warriors?
I'm just trying to think if they really are number one and number, like, if they're not number
Are
one.
you saying Road Warriors?
Just say it, D-Train. Just say it. Commit.
No. Okay. Now, I'm thinking of number one. I'm going to say Midnight Express, right? Because they're good. Yeah.
Jay, what do you want?
I'll go with Road Warriors for number 2.
Number 2, the Road Warriors.
Oh.
I tried handing it to you, D-Train, damn it.
Yeah, I
Told
know,
you to
but-
commit.
I know, but-
And that brings us to the number 1 team in professional wrestling
I can't
for the
keep saying,
period ending December 6th of 86.
I can't keep saying them. Oh my God.
Because at this point, you have to realize there's at least 2 major names we haven't mentioned that wrestled, and one of them's not in the top 10. One of them's number 1, one of them's not on the chart.
Well, I know I've said before. I'm still going to continue. Midnight Express has got to be on this top 10. No, wait a minute.
One of them's number
No,
Here he is again,
they're not.
failing to commit.
they're not. Because if the Fabulous Ones were a team, that means Stan Lane was with the Fabulous Ones. He wasn't part of the Midnight Express at this point.
What happened to Dennis Condrey? Oh,
Yeah.
shit, man.
I never liked him. No.
Yeah, but I mean, he was still part of it. We got Keith O'Toole chiming in. He says it's the Hart Foundation, and he's incorrect. But thank you for playing. I will keep an eye on the chat. If you guys in the chat can get an answer in before these guys, you're going to get the points.
They hadn't won the belts yet, so they weren't ranked number one. Not yet.
AWF.
Now, you said one of them was
AWF.
number 1, so that would have been Ric Flair.
No, I'm saying is that we have 2 teams that were really big at the time. And one
Oh,
of them hasn't made the top 10 in this countdown. One of them's number 1. So the Midnight Express are an option because it was Condrey.
It's one of the Expresses then. Rock and Roll Express could possibly be the other one.
yeah.
Keith O'Toole is going with the Rockers, which the Rockers were back at number 8.
I'll say Rock. Oh my God. I know I'm going to be wrong. I'm just going to say Rock and Roll Express.
About damn time.
I'll go with Orient Express.
The Orient Express. The Rock and Roll Express is the team that we were looking for. Ancient Clown. I say again, no mental prowess.
Right.
The Midnight Express with Condrey was all right. I just thought they were just a tad better with Stan Lane. I don't
Oh, they
know why.
definitely were better, but I'm just saying with Condrey, they had the tag team titles for a period of time too, so they could be in the. I'm surprised they're in the top 10. I mean, over Playboy Buddy Rose and Doug Summers.
Well, yeah, I know. I just remember Midnight Express when it was Stan Lane. They had the U.S. tag titles and the tag titles at once. Like, that was enough for me, but
Yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna go through this other part a little bit quicker here, and I'll just see. Well, for the
women
NWA,
wrestlers.
the NWA be too simple, but I'll do it anyway. The top 10 singles in the NWA by itself. We've got number 10, Rip Oliver. Number 9, Arn Anderson. Number 8 is Ronnie Garvin. Number 7, Brad Armstrong. Number 6, Barry Windham. Number 5, holy cow. All right, Barry Windham's number 6. You're never going to believe who number 5 is. Sam
No.
Houston. Sam Houston. And I love me some Sam Houston. That kid could wrestle back in those days. But over Barry Windham? Barely above Sam Houston by just one little point. Lex Luger. I think Apter was drunk.
There's a big discrepancy.
Yeah, there's something ain't right in this picture here.
This is Bill Apter making this magazine, right?
I'm pretty sure he was responsible for this, yes.
Ooh, crazy old magazine. Nice
Number
guy.
3, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. Number 2, well, we all know who. Well, these are the top 10 contenders. So we know number 1 is Ric Flair, so we'll give that away. All right, so who are the top 3 contenders to Ric Flair's title? Who's got number 3? Now that you have the bottom 7.
Was Sting elevated to that point?
Keith O'Toole coming in with a guess. But that was number 4, Lex Luger. I think he was guessing for Sam Houston. And you're only off by 1, dude, so that was pretty good.
Oh my god.
Live guys have an advantage with a 17-second delay, but it's taking long enough where the 17-second delay is caught up.
I don't think Sting was elevated to that point, but knowing that Sam Houston's on this list, I'm going to say Sting just for the hell of it, but I'm going to say I'm totally wrong. He's probably not even on the list.
Jay, what do you want for the number 3 to the heir to the throne?
Trying to just remember back.
Anybody in the chat, feel free. We're looking for number 3. If you're putting an answer in, put the number in front of it. This way I know that that's the one you're answering for.
Mm-hmm.
Or click on the link and get on board. Because now I'm paying for this crap, so we got enough room to put more people up.
Magnum TA.
Not bad, but he's already out with injury by then.
Oh.
Career ending. Number 3, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes.
I thought we already had him.
No, not in the top 10. He was in the tag team with Nikita.
Oh, damn it.
We're talking about singles right now, NWA to the throne.
Right.
So, number 2, challenger for Ric Flair's World Championship.
I was never
I know I wouldn't get it.
There.
I know what my guess would be, but I would have been wrong.
Okay.
Keith O'Toole says number 2 is Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, and he is incorrect.
Because he was still in the WWE. This is before WrestleMania 3.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Ricky hadn't made it over yet, but I like the participation. Keep it coming.
If it was 88, maybe. Because Steamboat was, I think, around then.
Exactly, and he was given all he wanted.
Okay, I'm going to go with it again because I haven't heard his name. I'm going to say Sting because this was right before. No, that wasn't before. Ronnie Garvin.
I love what that would have been my guess. That was my guess, and we'd both be wrong. Jay, throw something out there, man.
Tommy Rich.
Yeah, interesting thought. He did have that second wind of him. Tully Blanchard.
Really?
How about that? As if he was ever going to go head-to-head with Ric Flair.
Was that because he was the TV champion then? So
or the U.S. champion. He had one of them. Yeah, he had one of those belts.
Yeah, that makes sense then.
The number 1 contender to Ric Flair's championship for the week ending December 6th of 1986.
I'll say Nikita Koloff. Just.
There's your winner.
Yeah, see, I thought you said Nikita was on this list too. I must have. Yeah.
Nope, Nikita comes in the number 1 spot.
That wasn't going to be my guess. I didn't know who the hell my guess was actually. So.
All right, let's
I
jump.
figured he was on the tag team list, so might as well throw him out there.
Yep. All right, let's look at the AWA for a moment, shall we?
Oh,
number
God.
10. Yeah, I know, right? This is going to be a lot of fun. I can see this.
Big Scott Hall.
Ninja Go? Is that the name?
Oh my God.
I've never heard of no Ninja Go in my life. But he made number 10.
I'm sure Baron Von Raschke's on the list. Big
Squeaking
Scott
past
Hall.
him at number 9 would be Greg Gagne. Number 8 is Super Ninja. I'm sure those two guys are driving together.
What the hell is After Smoke? Anyways, okay.
What the hell's name is this? I should have been wearing my glasses. Ken what? Ken Timbs. Timbs. Who the hell is that?
He's Canadian.
He could be. I never heard of his ass before. And I was actually watching a little bit of AWA back then because it was on ESPN.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Number 6, Silo Sam.
Jesus.
Oh, Keith O'Toole coming in here. Ninja Go was Larry Zbyszko's protege, which I do vaguely recall in the darkest corners of my memory.
Man, was the AWA this sorry? Okay, all right.
Number 5, Brad Reagans. Number 4, Boris Zukov.
Oh, God.
By the way, let's just state that Nick Bockwinkel is the world champion.
So Rick Martel's on the... No?
Who's number 3 to Nick Bockwinkel in December of 86? Ancient Clown says I was off studying music theater at that time. Keith O'Toole, your answer. What number is that, Keith O'Toole? What you're answering for what number on the roster?
I'm going to say Ricky Martel.
We got a Rick Martel.
I think he was still there.
I'll go with Zbyszko.
We got a Zbyszko. And Keith O'Toole, is that answer for the number 3 contender?
It's got to be.
I would think so. We've been stuck on it for a minute. We have a winner. It's Keith O'Toole. Kurt Hennig.
Oh.
Okay.
All right, Keith O'Toole. Let's see what you've won. It's a brand new car.
I think this is almost before Kurt Hennig won the title, if I remember correctly.
Yep, it was for number 3, and Keith O'Toole gets the win. All right, that brings us to the number 2 contender for Nick Bockwinkel's title, which, by the way, I love that old AWA title.
Kevin O'Toole, I hope you're not using some kind of a Google machine.
Oh, that is a possibility I hadn't considered.
You're not
a moment ago, we were very impressed, but now we're not so sure. You cheating a little. Nah, he probably guessed that one.
Yeah.
It was a legit guess for that time frame.
I was going to say, I'll stay with Zbyszko for number 2. He's got to be somewhere in here. D-Train?
You can go with that as well, or you can go with something altogether different.
Well, I'm thinking Big Scott Hall. Scott Hall.
Both good guesses. I don't see anyone on the board coming up with a number 2 suggestion. If they did, they might have had the answer as Colonel De Beers.
Wow.
I mean, I don't imagine him and Nick Bockwinkel go, well, Bockwinkel did come back as a babyface, so at that point, I think maybe. Was that where he had the babyface turn? He finished up as a babyface.
I think so.
I have a feeling based on this list that might have been at that point.
I'd like to know what his thought process was, how he ranked this at that time. Well, no, seriously, like, how did he go off of...
I'm almost wondering if the promoters didn't give him the top 10 list. Based on what they want.
Super Ninja is some jabroni be on the top 10 list. And Sam Houston over Barry Windham?
I'm thinking the promoters gave it to him. Based on what they were planning on booking or how they wanted the fans to view these guys.
Or he just took 10 names and put them in a hat and just whoever pulled out.
And drew them out.
That's another possibility altogether. Who do you think the number 1 contender was for Nick Bockwinkel's AWA World Heavyweight Championship?
On the side note, I have Bill Adler as a friend on Twitter. I'm going to message him later and ask him. I'm curious.
I just heard the right answer, Larry Zbyszko.
Yeah.
I knew he had to be in the top 3 somewhere.
All right. WWF number 10, Junkyard Dog. Number 9, Dick
King Kong.
Slater. Dirty Dick Slater. He had a small run there.
Yeah.
Number 8, my personal fave, Tito Santana. Number 7, the Magnificent Morocco. Number 6, Rowdy Roddy Piper. When you start looking at some of the names above Rowdy Roddy Piper, it's got to make you shake your head. But number 5, Hercules Hernandez. It gets worse. Number 4, Kamala over Roddy Piper for Hulk Hogan's World Championship.
Well, Piper wasn't doing it. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's 2 years after Mania. I get it, I guess.
He wasn't really. I mean, that was right before the Adrian Adonis thing.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what he was doing after that, before that, so maybe.
Well, apparently not much. He only pulled number 6.
Yeah.
Who was number 3 in line?
Sergeant Slaughter.
D-Train?
Well, I already know my number 1, but got to be Andre the Giant.
Nothing in the chat. Number 3, Jake the Snake Roberts. And we all know why he didn't get to number 1, because he was getting a better crowd reaction than the babyface Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
I love when Jake Roberts did that acceptance award. And it's like, you fans, man, you cost me a lot of freaking money, man. Cheer DDT. It's like, well, we can't put him with Hogan. It's like, damn, what the hell?
Yeah, see, Keith O'Toole, I thought Andre too at first, but he wasn't really doing as much then. I don't know what happened to him. I don't know if he was injured or...
Well, we now know number 3 is Jake Roberts. Number 2, who do you think number 2 would be? December 6, 1986. Hulk Hogan's the world champion. Who's the number 2 guy?
Macho Man.
D-Train?
As weird as it's going to be knowing actors, I'm going to say King Kong Bundy for some reason.
Not bad. Keith O'Toole, I'm going to give you a second.
Because I personally think Macho Man's number 1, and I could use the IC champion, but...
See, I don't think Keith O'Toole is cheating. He's not cheating because he's been respectable, but just missing his mark. Number 2 is the Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. And that leaves number 1 contender to the world champion, Hulk Hogan. And who do you think that would be?
Macho Man.
Yeah.
Macho Man Randy Savage. Oh, yeah.
Because Andre wasn't challenging for the title yet. But again, Bill Apter, I don't know what he's thinking.
I'm going to blitz through the women's list with the exception of the number 1. It doesn't have the women listed as champion and challenger. It's just top 10.
Either Moolah or Sherry is the number 1, probably. But
right.
Well, here's our list. Penny Mitchell is 10. Velvet McIntyre is 9. Kat LaRue.
Oh, yeah, my all-time favorite. Yep.
7 is Candy Devine. 6 is Linda Dallas. 5, Leilani Kai. 4 is Moolah. 3 is Wendy Richter. 2 is who? Who's number 2?
I'll say Moolah was number 2.
What you got? What did you come up with, Jay? What was that?
Moolah.
Jay's going with Moolah. D-Train?
I thought you said Moolah was already on the list somewhere, so...
I didn't say anything. You guys said. I have not. Yeah, I said Moolah was at number whatever the heck she was. Hold on. She was at number 4.
Oh, okay.
Moolah was at 4. So number 2 is who?
Wow, this is gonna be really weird because I'm gonna miss somebody. I want to say Sherry's number 1, but I'm gonna say she's number 2 on this list for some stupid reason.
Jay?
I can't think of anybody else. So
Misty Blue Sims. Misty Blue Sims.
Who in the blue hell is that?
Are you kidding? You don't know who
Right.
You don't know who Misty Blue Sims? Even I know Misty Blue Sims. Maybe she made it to number 2. But yeah, she was in the NWA and different territorials. I mean, she never did
Bill
the
Apter,
WWF.
was Bill Apter getting favors on the side? Vince
Well,
McMahon style?
We know Moolah was making things happen around that time, right? I mean, she was cute. She had the like blue nail polish and some blue tipped on her hair and stuff. If you look her up, you're gonna see her and go, "Oh, I kind of remember her." So I remember Misty Blue.
No.
Number 1. Who do you think number 1 was?
Sherry. It was Sherry.
All right, what do you
Yeah.
think? Indeed, Sherry Martel.
See, I wanted to stick with that, but the way that Apter had this list, I was thinking he did something screwy. But
In the UWF, our number 10 was
oh god, Sunny Beach.
no, not that UWF. We're trying to wash that from our minds. Thank you so much.
I know.
The real UWF. Bill Watts time period. That would be Sting. Sting coming in at number 10. If we'd have done UWF first, that would have changed that whole NWA debacle.
Yeah, it sure would have.
Yeah.
You spent a lot at the end of it.
But now that really puts us in the time frame better. So for the UWF, number 10 was Sting. Number 9 was Eddie Gilbert. Number 8, Dr. Death Steve Williams. Number 7, Savannah Jack. Number 6, Ted DiBiase. Number 5, Michael P.S. Hayes. Number 4 is who? In the chat, if you're guessing, put the number 4 first, and then who you think it is.
Gosh, I'd have to say Gordy was probably in their top 3. So
I've just been watching these guys.
the only person I can think of is he'd be higher. So I'm not going to say his name. Oh yeah, Keith O'Toole. That might be a good one.
Ooh, that is a good one. Anybody else?
But something tells me
Dan
Duggan's a little
Hansen.
higher too.
Correct answer is Terry Taylor.
The not so terrific
Oh.
Terry Taylor. Yeah.
Before the Red Rooster.
Remember, he was once Terrence Taylor in the NWA.
Yeah, everyone screwed him over except for Bill Watts. It's the only guy that understood he's just a great wrestler. Let him be him. Everybody had to throw a gimmick on him.
I never liked him.
Oh, I did. I thought he was really good in ring and had a good look to him. I was a fan.
I don't know. I guess I always thought I could take Terry Taylor for some reason. I don't know why. I always did. I was just like, no.
A lot of people make that mistake about wrestlers. They look at it, I could take him, and then they make the mistake of trying.
Yeah, I know. Of course, I was only maybe 8 or 9 at the time, too. So, anyway.
Number 3 was Hacksaw Jim Duggan. In the UWF, if he's number 3, who's number 2?
I'll say Gordy.
Terry Gordy is number 2, which leaves number 1 in the UWF. Who's the number 1 man in the UWF?
Bam Bam?
Not as far off as you think.
One Man Gang?
That's the answer.
Really?
One man gang at that point in time was the man. The one man. In World Class Championship Wrestling, number 10 is Abdullah the Butcher. Number 9 is Steve Simpson. Number 8 is Mike Von Erich. 7 is Black Bart. Candy Graham from Mongo. Number 6 is the Dingo Warrior. Number 5 is who? Crusher Turklov? Crusher Turklov? I don't recall that name. I wasn't big into WCCW, but I don't even remember hearing that name.
I will be tweeting after later.
Okay. Number 4, I'm just going to give it to you. I don't think we're going to get this one. Brian Adidas.
Oh, damn.
Number 3 is Lance Von Erich. I feel like this is double bonus points if you get it right, but who's number 2? I wouldn't have even been in the ballpark. I mean, somebody we all know, but I wouldn't have ever thought of him as number 2 in the WCCW.
Jerry Lawler.
No, that actually makes more sense than this.
Sullivan?
Nope.
Skandar Akbar.
Think WWF. He's a strong contender. Mr. USA, Tony Atlas.
Oh, okay.
I don't even remember him being there. I mean, I know he moved around the circuits a bit, but never in a million years would have thought of him as number 2. Who do you think number 1 is? I'm going to help you. The last name's Von Erich.
Kevin.
Oh, wow. I thought y'all were going to say something else. That is correct. Kevin Von Erich. Damn. Now we're getting into my favorite part here. Sunshine State of Florida, number 10 at the time. Brickhouse Brown. Number 9, a very young Sean Royal. At number 8, another young man named Ron Simmons.
Damn.
Yes, exactly. At number 7, and I was watching a lot of this programming at this time, but I do not know who Dewey Forte is. Number 6, Ed the Bull Gantner. And if you haven't seen him, you should look at this stuff. He just had the perfect look and everything. He was built like a friggin' brick shithouse. Number 5, it's a Wyndham.
Kendall.
That's correct. Number 4, Bad News Allen. Number 3, Hacksaw.
Butch Reed.
Incorrect.
I know there was another hacksaw besides Duggan, but I can't.
I didn't until I just read it.
Ah,
Hacksaw Higgins. He made it to number 3. I don't know who the hell he is, and I was watching this product at the time.
Well, like I said.
Number 2 was one half of the Shock Troops. Kareem Muhammad. If you didn't see him, he was a big sumbitch. Kind of like a Big Daddy V. And number 1 in the state of Florida back in 86 December. What do you think? It's a name that you should definitely know.
Sullivan.
Incorrect.
I can't think of anybody.
He'd go on to be a member of a very elite group of individuals. Four of them, as a matter of fact.
Luger.
Luger is the answer. That was his rookie year.
So Curtis Luger in the NWA and the...
He was in Championship Wrestling from Florida. He was the guy. He was our golden child here. Flair was doing his tour of all the indie circuits, and he came to Florida, and he had a match at Eddie Graham Sports Center against the Total Package Lex Luger, which I couldn't get to. But it was a tremendous match. It was best out of 3 falls. Match gets going. Luger takes fall 1 after a big charging clothesline. There's a 5-minute rest period between falls. Flair leaves the ring to go to the back to rest. While he's gone, Kevin Sullivan and his army come out there and attack and beat down Lex Luger. Flair knows nothing has happened, doesn't know anything that's happened because he's in the locker room. The 5 minutes goes by. Flair comes to the ring. Luger's unable to compete, and Flair wins by a forfeit, but Luger got the one and only pinfall of the match.
So Luger's the only guy on the list here that was on the list twice under the singles departments.
How about that?
Yeah.
Yep. So like I said, this is right at that time where he was going a little bit back and forth, but he was now being seen on Crockett programming. Keith O'Toole coming in with a Steve Kern guess. I like it. Surprisingly, he didn't make that list at all. Let's see. Most popular and most hated. Oh, yeah, that was a fun one. Let's just go right to number 1. Who's the most popular wrestler in 86?
Hogan.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Who's the most hated in 86?
Flair.
No.
There was a question mark in his voice, so I'm going to let you go. He might be right. I'm just saying, there was a question mark.
I can't imagine it would still be Iron Sheik. Could it be Bundy? Andre Hendrick Eel?
Most hated.
Wow. Macho Man? Macho Man's going to be my guess. But I'm sure he was.
Ric Flair was number 2. Macho Man Randy Savage, most hated.
That's
the rest
true.
of the list for the most popular, and that tells you something right there, because with this guy, any week it's going to be one list or the other. Jerry the King Lawler was number 10, most popular. Ricky Steamboat at number 9. Number 8 was Hacksaw Jim Duggan. 7 is Barry Windham. 6 is Lex Luger. 5 is Kevin Von Erich. 4 is Nikita Koloff. 3 is Rowdy Roddy Piper. 2 is the American Dream Dusty Rhodes. On our most hated list, number 10 is Terry Bam Bam Gordy. 9, we've got Abdullah the Butcher. At 8, we have Tully Blanchard. At 7, we have Eddie Gilbert. At 6, we have Jake the Snake Roberts. At 5, Brian Adias. At 4, Colonel De Beers. Anyone want to take a guess at number 3, since we know Flair has 2 and Savage has 1? Most hated in 86 of December, or December of 86.
God, was Orndorff a face or a heel then? He changed a lot.
He was a heel. Number 3, Paul, Mr. Wonderful Orndorff. Keith had him at number 1. But he's actually number 3. All right. When we come back, we're going to take a very quick break here, but when we come back, we're going to talk about the house shows and the results of those events. By the way, here's PWI doesn't count if you're not looking at the centerfold. So this was our centerfold at the time. Total Package Lex Luger. Like I said, he was hot on fire at that time, and definitely the guy that everyone was predicting was going to go up against Hogan. Took a lot longer for that match to take place than I think a lot of us expected it to. And hey, he did beat him for the World Championship. And by the way, one of the featured articles in here, another one, this was the AWA, believe it or not, got some pretty good coverage of Colonel De Beers trying to kill Superfly Jimmy Snuka, which was nothing more than an absolute rinse and repeat of the Ray Stevens angle. I mean, literally, just you could superimpose one over the other. It was so exact. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. In the meantime, if you guys haven't seen the news for this channel, make sure you join us on Tuesday, because joining us here as I bring back the Inside the Creators Studio, this will be the first time ever we do it live, where you guys can ask your questions of the person that we are bringing into the studio, and you'll probably have some questions for this individual.
This Tuesday, August 30th, the Nation Network is invaded.
Hey, what's up? It's Jesse, the ODB Creasa, one dirty bitch. I got big news, guys.
Find out what happens when Vince McSham goes one-on-one with ODB.
That's right. Jesse, the ODB, wrote a mother trucking book.
Sharing stories about her career and the life after wrestling.
And it's been a hell of a journey, and it's just awesome to finally make a dream come true, and it's all because of you guys.
Pre-order her new book and qualify for possible gifts, including signed ring gear, ring-worn apparel, and 8x10s.
Wrestling's been half my life, and I'm excited to share some little dirt in there. You guys are going to get a kick out of this book. It's funny, and it's me writing it all through my eyes. And yes, if you are a bitch or a dick to me, I'm calling your ass out. I love you all. Thank you for all the support. Bam!
See what happens this Tuesday, August 30th, when ODB invades the Nation Network.
Yeah, I am excited about that. She and I have.
I can't wait.
Yeah, it's gonna be good times. It's gonna be good times. She was actually staying where I was working prior to coming back to more local. I was over in Daytona running an RV campground and resort, and she was one of our long-standing guests that were staying there, residents, and she had the big old meat truck back there and everything. And I'm looking at the truck and I was like, I know who that is. And my assistant at the time, she's like, oh yeah, she's one of our. I said, ODB? She's like, yeah. I said, oh my God. So I ended up running into her, talking a bit, talked to the shop, and yeah, just super cool lady. And I saw her post that video. I kind of clipped it up a little bit, but she posted that on Twitter recently, promoting her book, which I've already ordered my copy. And we'll have the link and everything on Tuesday. So, if you guys want to help out the project and get a copy, I can guarantee you, just reading the bullet points, it's going to be gold. It's going to be absolute gold. So she's agreed to come on here and talk about it and talk about life in general. And we'll get to catch up with her and see what she's doing nowadays. So we don't have a set time yet. We did agree on Tuesday. I said it had to be after 5. We're thinking it's probably going to be somewhere between 6 and 7. As soon as I iron out the details, I will definitely post it here as well as on Twitter. And that is something I forgot to do for my overlay, and that is to add the Twitter handle. So we'll work on that for the next one. But in case, because I can't even remember my own Twitter handle exactly. I know that just
have it scrolling around the bottom too, if you wanted it to.
Yeah, I know. I'm thinking of that too. Matter of fact, thank you for bringing that up, because I had something else in mind. It's at One Nation Network. There we go. We have several different variations of that for different things, but let me see here.
I met ODB while she was wrestling in the Midwest indie scene, before she even hit TNA and all of that. So I remember way back.
Yep.
I went and saw her when she's down in OVW, actually. So.
Yeah, she was part of a crew of Minnesota people that came down, like Ken Anderson, Mr. Kennedy, like in Austin.
Right.
Area, Austin, like kind of a different clique they had there. So.
She was claiming herself to be the women's champion, and they actually made the title just because she was talking about being the women's champion. So
I'll be looking forward to that.
Me too. Like I said, she's super cool, a lot of fun to talk to, and I think she was a little surprised. Like when the first time I actually met her, I was driving the golf cart going, and we had a pretty big sprawled out property. So her meat truck was down at one far end, and she was staying at the other end. And I saw her walking. I knew she was heading down there. So, you want to ride? So yeah, jumps in, and we're just chatting a little bit. And I mentioned to her, I just want you to know I know who you are and what you do. And she's like, oh. And I'm like, no, man, it's all cool. I'm good with it. And yeah, there was a couple times where we just sit there and talk shop all the time, and I just liked hearing her stories then. So the thought that they're going to be in a book now, that's going to be pretty cool. I cannot wait to read this thing. I'm looking forward to it very much. All right, that brings us up to the Arena Report, which, again, this was my favorite part of the magazines. I'd go to this first, and then I'd go back and look at the other stuff. So I wanted to know what was happening. So let's go through. I'm going to give you some matches. You tell me how you think they were booked. We were coming out of the Charlotte Coliseum. We've got Nikita Koloff and Dusty Rhodes in our main event going up against Ric Flair and Tully Blanchard.
Flair and Blanchard.
Yeah, Flair and Blanchard going over.
I say Dusty
Yeah.
count out or DQ.
He must think that's like one of my games or something. Like I'm playing my 2K over here. Koloff and Dusty Rhodes win by DQ.
Because if it's the main event, they want to send people home happy. They didn't pin them, but they won.
Well, yeah, but it's a tag team match. You pin the world champion in a tag team match.
True.
No. Gotta
That
keep
makes
Flair
it
strong.
that makes it believable that when you go into one-on-ones, hey, you pinned him in that tag match. That could happen.
No. You're right, though.
Keith O'Toole, we are still doing everything else. We're still going to be doing the 2K22 series with the League of Legends. Going to be going back to the Pro Wrestling Superstars board game. I'm not done with that by a long shot.
No.
Just adding a little bit more stuff, and we were having some fun with this open format kind of thing where people can jump on and talk, and it's not just me, and I like that too. It gives me something new to do.
Yeah, it's kind of cool that it's not always just reading comments. It's actually some interaction, too.
Yep.
I got you.
All right. That was a main event match. I probably should have started on the bottom, worked my way up, so let me try that instead. Don Kernodle went up against Gary Royal.
Oh, you want to know who won?
Yeah, tell me what happened, like you just did a second ago.
10-minute time limit?
Legitimate guess.
That's going to be my guess because, yeah.
What do you got, Jay?
Don for the
Don
win.
Kernodle does get the win. Don Kernodle beat Gary Royal. They used to have the time in there, too. They don't have it here.
Okay, that's right. All right.
Bill Dundee went up against Tim Horner.
White Lightning, Tim Horner. That's what I'm going with.
Jay?
That sounds about right.
That's because it is right. Tim Horner defeats Bill Dundee. Hector Guerrero against Rick Rude.
Ooh. I'll have to go with Guerrero.
I'm going to go with Rude.
Ravishing One goes for the win. We have the Midnight Express along with Big Bubba Rogers on their team going up against the Rock and Roll Express and Brad Armstrong.
Rock and Roll Express. But by DQ.
Train.
Wow, he said
By the
something
way,
about-
Keith O'Toole had Rick Rude and Don Kernodle.
Could have Big Bubba taken the fall in that match? Very well could have.
He
Doesn't
could
seem
have.
to actually gets pinned in a 6-person tag, does it? Yeah, I'll say the Rock and Roll and then one. Straight up.
The Midnight Express and Big Bubba Rogers defeat the Rock and Roll Express and Brad Armstrong. I'm going to presume Brad Armstrong took the fall on that one.
That would sound probably about right. That's what I was thinking. Is like, would Big Bubba take the? He was a big guy back then. He wouldn't take the fall.
Right.
And he was also the guy that got clobbered over the head with a chair that went splintering into pieces and stood tall with it around his head.
Yep. And also, did not catch Cornette. And Cornette blew out his knees, but yeah.
Yeah. That was a brutal injury.
Yeah.
Let's see. If Wahoo McDaniel got in the ring with Manny Fernandez, who do you think won?
Wahoo.
Double DQ.
Manny Fernandez defeated Wahoo McDaniels that night. Oh, it's going to be interesting. The Enforcer, Arn Anderson, went one-on-one with Road Warrior Animal. Ancient Clown. Thank you, man. I'm glad to see that can inspire you.
It's just a house. Not every
Just a house show, he says.
Arn with some shenanigans.
So who we picking?
I say
I'll go with Arn.
Got Arn?
But Arn got counted. I don't know why. I just feel like he'd run away, like, screw this, I'm out of here.
Well, he may have. They don't tell me exactly who won or how they won, but Road Warrior beat Arn Anderson. And then we already went over the main event a moment ago, so we know how that turned out. I guess these were turned in by fans. That was turned in by someone named Ruth Hagen.
Shout out to her.
This one came from Brent Kupavagel or something like that. Took place at the Cincinnati Gardens. I can't speak tonight.
Oh, God, that's old.
Yeah, Cincinnati Gardens in Cincinnati. Our opening contest featured Superstar Bill Dundee and Ricky Lee Jones.
I'm going to go with Dundee on that one.
I'll take Ricky.
Ricky for the win. Again, doesn't say how, just says that he did.
Oh, okay.
Shaska Watley got in the ring with Don Kernoodle.
Oh, God.
Can Don do twice? Let's try.
Got one for Kernoodle.
What a got here. I'll go with Watley just for the difference maker on this one.
Don Kernoodle gets the win over Shaska Watley, otherwise known as Fez Watley.
Yeah.
Got Baron Von Reschke going up against Gary Royal.
Good God.
I'll go with Baron.
Yeah, double that for me.
Baron Von Reschke over Gary Royal. Considered a return match. Rick Rude going up against Hector Guerrero.
Rude.
Yeah, I'll have to say Rude this time, too.
Ravishing Rick Rude continues his winning ways. Another return match. The Rock and Roll Express, along with Brad Armstrong, going up against the Midnight Express and Big Bubba Rogers.
Same thing. Midnight.
Yeah, I'll stay with Rock and Roll.
Rock and Roll Express get the win this time around. Who took the pin? I don't know, but I'd like to.
Cornette.
Manny Fernandez and Wahoo McDaniels once again locking up.
Wahoo.
Yeah, Wahoo.
Too bad it was Manny.
Actually,
Manny Fernandez gets the win over Wahoo McDaniel.
Total side note, I'm actually a friend with somebody who is a relative of Wahoo McDaniel.
Oh, really?
Nice.
If it's like a daughter or if it's like a... I think he was married more than once. He's somewhere part of his family, though.
Keith O'Toole picked the Rock and Roll Express win.
There was a lot of those old school guys, but yeah. Sorry, total sidebar, but...
Yeah, it's all good. Road Warrior Animal went one-on-one this time, though, with Ole Anderson.
Animal.
Ole.
Animal.
Damn.
That had to be an ugly match.
And in a pseudo return match, no, it is a return match. I take it back. I thought there was a substitution, but it's not. The American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, Nikita Koloff once again going up against Ric Flair and Tully Blanchard. How did it go this time in Cincinnati?
Flair and Tully.
Nikita and Dusty.
Nikita and Dusty.
Wasn't Dusty the booker then?
Tom Hood says Cornette took the pin with his corduroy pants on.
Yeah, see, that's where I was going with. Maybe substitute,
Why not? All right, let's see. All right, this next one at least has some different matches. We're at the Civic Center in Philadelphia.
Ooh.
The Rock and Roll Express are going to go up against Ole and Arn Anderson. Who's going to win that match?
That was the opening match?
According to this.
Oh, so that might be.
I'll go with the Rock and Roll Express.
I'll go with the bad guys.
No, Razor Ramon's not in this. Oh, you mean those bad guys? You should have come with the good guys. Rock and Roll Express. Ricky and Robert getting over on that one.
Wow, if that was an opening match, that's a hell of an opening match for a card.
Right? I was going to say,
Right.
Let's see what this card looks like, because now we've got...
But could have been one of those deals that doesn't say that, sorry, but where maybe
Oh
they
my
wrestled
God.
in two towns, so sometimes they had to be put on first, so they could be main event somewhere else later.
That's very possible.
That's true.
The Kansas Jayhawks and Ronnie Garvin went up against the Midnight Express and Big Bubba. I forgot about the Kansas Jayhawks.
I'll go with the Kansas Jayhawks and Ronnie.
I go with the other. I go the other way.
Would you now?
Okay.
Final answers?
Yeah, I'm going with the bad guys.
Midnight Express and Big Bubba Rogers plucking the feathers of the Jayhawks. This is very interesting, the way their matches are lined up, and I'm starting to really think you're right about that double duty thing, because now we're at Dusty and Nikita going up against Ric Flair and Tully Blanchard.
I know if I switch it, I'll stay Flair and Tully.
I'm still going with Dusty and Nikita.
One of you is right, one of you is wrong.
Obviously.
Anybody want to get a little more detailed on the outcome?
I mean, Jesus, Dusty was doing the booking, I think, then, wasn't he?
I mean, you both pick your teams to win. Any particular formula to victory?
Outside interference against Dusty and Nikita.
I'm
Let me
going,
be
yeah,
clear.
qualification.
All right. So just to be clear, Jay, who'd you pick to win?
Ole and Arn or Tully and Flair.
Okay. Dusty Rhodes and Nikita Koloff get the win by disqualification. I'm going to give that to J.J. Dillon, I'm sure.
Oh, sure.
Or maybe the horse. Oh, yeah, because the other guys weren't on the card, so.
Well, not yet anyway.
Right.
We're not yet. It's almost like we're working backwards.
Oh, okay.
Wahoo once again against Manny Fernandez.
Well, see.
Manny.
That's not the main event, so yeah, I'm going to say Manny too then.
You're both correct. Ravishing Rick Rude goes up against Brad Armstrong.
Rude.
Rude.
Brad Armstrong over Rick Rude.
Really?
It's in black and white. It must be true. Hey, it's a fan report. This is coming in from Dan Pina. P-I-N-A.
Is it possible he got it wrong?
He could have been drinking heavily that night. I mean, it got to Prince. That's all I can tell you.
He had all the big matches at the beginning, and that's getting a. Wow. Okay.
And again, we're assuming these are listed in order. Maybe, again, if they had to go from Philly to Cincinnati,
Or
It's-
Philly,
Yeah.
or Berg, or who knows?
anything is possible, I suppose. Let's see. So that was the Brad Armstrong match, which brings us now to, if my book will stay here, Ivan and Crusher Khrushchev are going up against Hector Guerrero and Don Kernoodle.
The Rush.
Yep. Tom Hood picked Brad Armstrong. Holy shit.
Nice.
Yeah, buddy. Should give double bonus points on that one. Yes, Keith O'Toole, that's right. Dirty Dutch Mantell was a member of the Kansas Jayhawks.
Ah, yes.
Who was the other one? Dutch Mantell and Bobby Jaggers. I believe it was Bobby Jaggers, wasn't it?
The name sounds about right.
Yeah, pretty sure that's who it was. Brad overruled his politics, says Jamon Scott. Keith O'Toole has made a big decision. It's Ivan and Crusher, he says. The guys on the 17-second delay are beating you guys to the punch here. Let's go. Who we got?
What do you mean? I said the Russian.
Oh, did you? Oh, my bad. I
took the other guys.
Took the other guys. Should have stuck with the Russians. They're the ones that won.
Sorry.
Ivan Koloff and Crusher Khrushchev get the victory.
Well, he'd been winning his singles matches, so I thought maybe he could pull out a tag team.
All right, let's see. We got White Lightning, Tim Horner going up against gorgeous Jimmy Garvin. I don't think he was a free bird yet.
Garvin.
And this is still the same card, right?
Same card. We're going.
I'm going to go with Tim Horner.
Ooh, that's a bold decision. It's incorrect, but it's bold. Jimmy Garvin gets the win. And then in what allegedly could have been the main event if we're going into Bizarro World.
Uh-oh.
Shaska Watley went up against Baron Von Raschke.
There's no way.
Baron.
Baron. That was Baron.
Shaska Watley beat Baron Von Raschke.
Wow.
It's right there in black and white. It's right there in black and white.
I'm sure.
I guess eventually the other guy has to get some kind of a victory, but man.
But man, he says. All right, let me find another promotion here since
that was the main event.
Over again. Is this what I think it is?
To me, that's our opening match first.
We've got the UWF now. And I think we're working our way down the card this time. It's some of these folks reported it in reverse order, so I'm going to start from the top down on this one. I think we'll be a little bit better. We're in the Gulfport, Mississippi area, coming at you from the Mississippi Gulf Coast Coliseum.
Okay.
Where, what the hell? Ken Massery went up against Sting.
Sting.
Only because that's the only name we recognize, right?
Exactly.
Right.
Sting gets the win over the guy we never heard of before. We've got Joe Savoldi. That's a name that's familiar. Going up against Savannah Jack. Another name that's familiar.
Jack.
Yeah, I thought Savoldi had some kind of a wrestling promotion too later on, or training or something. I'm going Savannah Jack too. Yeah, he was a big boy.
So who are you picking?
Savannah Jack.
We both said Jack.
Okay. There we got two winners. Tom Hood says do the AWF. If it's not in here, I can't do it. I'm going based on the magazine, man. We're reading it from the magazine. Sting destroyed Massey, says Keith O'Toole, who must have been there for that one. All right, Keith, thanks for checking in. You did well. He's got to step out, but you did really well.
Yes, sir.
All right, next match on the card. We just did that one. Buddy Landell and Rick Steiner teaming up to go against Iceman King Parson and Chris Adams. This is when they had that cross promotion going with WCCW, or WCCW just folded and some of their remaining talent jumped over.
Who was Steiner's partner? Rick Steiner and who?
Buddy Landell.
Buddy Landell.
Was that part of Hot Stuff Incorporated? Or International?
I don't think he was.
It might have been a short stint. Like I said, I think they took some of their talent at the end there when they closed the doors.
I'm going to go with the other guys.
You going with Iceman King Parson and Chris Adams?
Yeah.
I'll go with Team Steiner.
Ah, man. Too bad. Steiner lost. Iceman King Parsons and Chris Adams got the win that night.
Buddy Landell probably took the pin, my guess.
Another tag team match. It's an interesting one, it looks like. The Missing Link
Oh, geez.
and Dark Journey went up against Eddie Gilbert and Missy Hyatt. And I do actually recall I didn't get to watch it, but I read a lot about it in the magazine.
I would say Missing Link team.
Yeah.
Missing Link and Dark Journey?
Yeah.
Yep.
That is correct. One-man gang going one-on-one with Bam Bam Terry Gordy.
Ooh.
Terry
Who do you
Gordy.
like?
No Victor. I don't know how. Double count out, double DQ, something. No Victor.
One-man gang. I beg your pardon. The one-man gang won by forfeit over Terry Gordy.
Huh.
So Gordy no-showed or something.
I'm not sure, because right after that, Chris Adams went up against the one-man gang.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe Gordy just couldn't make it or something. Who knows? One-man gang won again.
Yeah.
He did indeed defeat Chris Adams that night. And in what I would consider to be the main event, because it was a country whipping showdown between the not yet $1 million man Ted DiBiase and Michael P.S. Hayes.
Michael P.S. Hayes.
Everybody's got a price for the not so $1 million man at this point. Yeah.
Except for Michael Hayes. Michael Hayes gets the win over Ted DiBiase in a country whooping match.
I mean, that makes sense. They sent the good guy home. Everyone happy. DiBiase got the whoop
Yep.
again. See, that's why the match listing is important in some of those, because, for my opinion, but
All right. If anyone gets this one wrong, you will be banned for at least 30 days. Okay, you got a loser leaves town for 30 days.
Oh, geez.
that might be me.
Steve Lombardi went up against Hercules Hernandez.
Hernandez.
Oh, man. Are you really sure about the panning? Because I'm always thinking to go there. No, it's got to be Hercules. I always went with Lombardi.
Are we staying Hercules?
Yeah.
But then Hercules was already in the W.
This is, I know, we're on to, that was the main event, that whooping match. We're on to a new card.
Oh,
My bad. Let me, you know what? I didn't introduce it properly. We're in the World Wrestling Federation at the Oakland Coliseum in Oakland, California.
oh yeah.
This is the opening contest.
Hercules. I thought he said
Yeah.
town or something. I was like, oh, maybe
Nope,
Hercules.
sorry. My bad for not being clear that we had jumped promotions. So Hercules Hernandez beats Steve Lombardi.
Would have got me banned. Woo.
Kamala went up against Billy Jack Haynes.
Kamala.
One of them won, and one of them won in a different kind of way.
Billy Jack by disqualification.
We got Billy Jack by DQ. What you got, Jay?
Kamala by count out.
Well, dadgummit, you're both close. Billy Jack gets the win by countout. Georgie Animal Steel went up against what I would think was the Intercontinental Champ. Oh, no, sorry. Georgie Animal Steel went up against the Magnificent Morocco.
Morocco.
I'll go with George.
George the Animal Steel beat the Magnificent Morocco by disqualification.
Mr. Fuji.
More than likely.
Yep.
Although Morocco can get himself disqualified for hitting a referee and stuff.
True.
Jake the Snake Roberts ran into the Junkyard Dog. Was it the dog or the snake that came out on top?
Much as like dog, I'll have to go with Jake.
Just say JYD with some kind of shenanigans.
You picking JYD?
Yeah.
Junkyard Dog pinned Jake the Snake Roberts. I'm sure he was real happy about that too. Here's an interesting matchup. We've got Ramon Rougeau and Tito Santana going up against the Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov.
Volkov.
Yeah.
You would think. But no. Ramon Rougeau and Tito Santana beat the Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov. I'm going to guess it was supposed to be the Rougeaus and one didn't make it. Santana filled
So they
in.
tossed Tito. Yeah.
Since they didn't get the match promised, they gave the fans the happy moment. Which, if you haven't heard my SD Jones story from back in 85, 86, similar scenario was supposed to be Barry Windham, Mike Rotundo in the return match from Mania. And it was at the local college gymnasium, and Barry Windham was unable to attend due to a family emergency, which may or may not have been the real case, but he wasn't there nonetheless, and that was our main event. SD Jones had his opening match, I think, against Lombardi or something like that, gets the win. Fans were so over for SD Jones that night. Then, because Barry wasn't there, special guest tag team partner and now a non-title match was SD Jones with Mike Rotundo, and SD Jones and Mike Rotundo would defeat the Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov with the titles no longer on the line. And then someone else no-showed, and they decided to have a big battle royal. Do you want to guess who won the battle royal? The most over guy on the card, SD Jones. So that was a career night for SD Jones. And I think that's probably what happened in this case here with Raymond Rougeau. It's probably supposed to be Jack.
Well, if the rumors are true, I always heard it's like when Wyndham was on, he was on, but he also would like to take some time off too. Like he would.
Yeah, but I don't.
Not dedicate.
Yeah, I mean, I think generally though, if he booked a match, he's going to show up for it if he can. But hey, it was 1985. There was no internet. All we knew is he didn't show up, and that was the guy I really wanted to see the most out of that whole night because he was my other favorite next to Tito Santana. Still to this day, those are my two top guys. Okay, our main event. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat going up against Randy Savage, and I gotta believe the Intercontinental title was on the line.
Steamboat by disqualification.
Sounds about right, or maybe a count out. I'll say count out just to make it different, but Steamboat won.
Oh, yeah. Macho Madness running wild.
Macho Man Randy Savage pinned Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Wow.
Blaze in the house. Dude, jump on, man. The link is right there for you. We'll give you a chance to make it a three-way. I'm the host. I already know the answers. It would be an unfair advantage. I kick all your asses right now. Jump in, man. Jump in. Let's make it a potty.
Triple threat.
That's why I like it when the people on the cam, because at least you know they're probably not Googling.
Well, I don't think anybody has, because everyone's guesses have been good, but they've been, hit and miss. Tom Hood picked JYD, and he also picked Ricky Steamboat. So you're right. It is a bit surprising, Tom. It's like I don't think he expected to see that outcome. All right, let's see what other promotion we got here.
I mean, I guess it's not so surprising because it's still December of '86, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Or somewhere around there, roughly. So, I mean, this could have been October, September. So I guess Steamboat wasn't really. They didn't do the angle yet, so.
Yeah. Steve H says this is back when the Intercontinental title meant something. Dude, it meant a lot back then. It really did. I mean, you look at Morocco, Morales, Santana, Valentine, Savage at this point. I mean, that belt was that was the real wrestling championship. And then the world title was the guy who sold the most tickets.
Well, I don't think he'll ever get back to where it was, but with Triple H, he is starting to try to make that U.S. title and IC title seem a little bit more important than what it used to be.
The Miz did a tremendous job of giving the Intercontinental title its life back, but then after he dropped it, they just kind of kicked it around again.
I mean, I still call him Walter. I don't care what anybody says. Walter, the IC champ, that's going to be a nice long reign for him.
Yeah.
That's what the title needs.
Oh, Walter.
And that was the point of the IC title. They don't call it the workhorse title for nothing.
Well, they don't call it that anymore because it hasn't been. But it would be nice to see it come back to that.
Yeah.
And Tom Hood's basically echoing the same exact thing. Morocco, Santana, Valentine. It was a big title at that time. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. For me, the greatest feud of all time. Not Dusty Flair, not Hogan anybody. It was Santana, Valentine, a 1.5 year long feud. You couldn't have written it better, and you couldn't have had a final match any better. That was a perfect feud. Every match was great. The outcomes, you get into a Madison Square Garden lumberjack match, and you think for sure Santana's getting the title back, but then all of a sudden some wacky thing happens and Valentine falls on top of him for the pin. And then you start thinking he ain't never getting the damn belt back if he just because that was the go home show for the Garden, so they're not getting another Garden match. And then he ends up at the Baltimore Civic Center inside of a steel cage, nice dark lit, looks like an old smoky alley backyard. And man, what a cage match that was. And the finish was perfect. They have never... That's when cage matches felt like something.
Well, I mean, that's what got me interested in wrestling was the very first match I ever saw live. The main event was Ric Flair versus Tommy Rich inside a steel cage. Both of them being platinum blonde, 3 rows back, seeing all the blood run down. I said, yeah, I like this.
Give me some of that blood.
Right.
All right, I guess Blaze is not going to jump in. I thought he might.
And you might be predicting by yourself. A.K.A. Dusty might have to take a trip, but I'll chime in when I can here.
All right, well, we'll do one more anyway. I was just about close to wrapping us up here on this part. Let me see if I can find another promotion. There was something I was just looking at. Where did it go? All right, here we go. We're coming to you live from the Edmonton, Alberta, University of Alberta Butterdome.
Well, okay.
The Butterdome. Nothing strikes fear into the soul of mortal men like entering the Butter Bowl. Wow.
Melting butter in Canada. No, thank you.
Butterdome. I have no idea what promotion this is. Zero idea. So we're all going to be just guessing our asses off here. Well, I know the answers, but if Jeffrey Johnson went head-to-head with Ole Youngblood, does anyone know what promotion this is? If you do, let us know. Tom Hand, I don't know. It doesn't say the name of the promotion. It just gives you the rundown of the card, and from there, normally you can tell. But in this case, I've never heard of Jeffrey Johnson nor Ole Youngblood.
Well, I was going to say, what was the main event? Maybe if you would start with that.
I already tried that, too, and that ain't going to help us a whole lot. But, all right, we'll start with the main event, see if it does.
Yeah, just to see if it might.
Dr. D. David Schultz is going up against Paul Lamon.
Go with Schultz.
Okay.
Looks like Lauman, if I'm reading it correctly.
But promotion-wise,
Oh, here we go. It's for the ICWA Championship. What the hell is that? ICWA, Canadian Wrestling Association. What's the I?
maybe International Canadian Wrestling Association or something.
All right. So now we know exactly what we're talking about. Let's start back at the undercard.
I don't think it makes a difference, but yeah.
It really doesn't. I was right. At the end of the day, it doesn't.
It really doesn't, no.
So now that we have our 50-50 crapshoot, Ole Youngblood going up against Jeffrey Johnson. Who do you think?
We'll go Youngblood.
Jeffrey Johnson sounds like such a jobber name, but I'm going to go Jeffrey Johnson for the hell of it.
Youngblood for the win.
Makes sense.
Mike
Johnson.
Powers goes up against Elliot Trudell.
Is Jim Powers his twin or something?
I have no idea who either is. I'm guessing Elliot Trudell might be the father of the current prime minister.
Let's go with Elliot.
I'll go with Powers. I have no idea.
You got Mike Powers, and who you going with, Jay?
Elliot.
Should have gone with Powers. He's the guy that won. Powers defeats P. Elliot Trudell.
I don't know what the P stands for, but
Piece of shit. Nah, I don't.
I mean, it could be a few other words too, but yeah.
Actually, Tom Hood had the best guess. Was it Mike? It was either Mike or Jim Powers. Yeah, one of them won. Let's see. Man, I'm gonna need my glasses at this point. Apparently, there's another guy named Powers as well. Jesse Powers, and he hooked up with KC Houston. That's a good wrestling name. KC Houston in Calgary went up against Jesse Powers.
I'm gonna go to the other Power brother too. Why not? What the heck?
Jay?
KC.
KC for the win. God. These names. Dr. Blood, Doktor.
Ooh,
Dr. Blood.
Dr. Blood. Ooh.
And Butch Thomas went up
The
against the Butch Thomas. Went up against Rich Lauman and Jeffrey
Dahmer?
Gosh, damn it. I'm gonna say Boulet. Bulet.
I mean, Dr. Blood, that's just, I mean.
Yeah, that's kind of like Dr. Red Fang, man.
I wonder if he was in a mask too. I'll go with the Dr. Blood team.
I'll take the other team.
You should take the other team. They're the ones that won, even though I can't pronounce their names.
Right.
If anyone got all these right, then you know they're cheating, man.
We might have to do one quick round of this with ODB. All right, let's see here.
Gosh, was she? No offense, I don't know how old she is. Was she even around at 80s?
She is.
Probably.
She's 44.
Yeah.
Okay,
So.
okay. Not to put her age out there, I was just.
No, she'll probably tell you. I mean, one of the most forthcoming individuals I've ever spoke to.
I wasn't sure how old she actually was because she seemed young.
I guess I should have said she's our age. That's what I should have said.
She's the age I wouldn't mind being again.
Well, I mean, really, when I saw her first wrestle, I thought she was like not even 18 yet for some reason. That's why I was like, but I guess either way, yeah, it's simply late 30s. So, okay.
But in this case, none of us know who any of these people are, so she'd have the same odds as anybody.
True.
Good thing we're not taking shots if we lost.
And Tom Hood
Oh
also
my God.
Jeffrey Dahmer for the win. That's another opportunity we could take advantage of at some point in the future.
Well, if you have ODB on.
No, I ain't got a chance there. I'm not a professional anymore. I used to be. Let's see. Drago. Oy caramba.
Wow.
Drago.
Could this be a Russian?
Travago, we're going to say. Drago Travago going up against Bob Wayne. That name sounds...
Let's go, Bob.
Come on, the big bad Russian. But I've heard of Bob Wayne. I'll go with the Russian.
It is Travago, by the way. Now that I pull the magazine a little further away, I can read it. If I push it over to Atlanta, it'll be easy. Let's see. Bob Wayne with the win.
Yeah.
By pinfall.
I don't know where I've heard that name, but that does sound a familiar name.
All right, well, we mentioned the main event earlier. Now we can decide how it turned out. The ICWA Championship is on the line between, and I don't know who the champion or challenger is, but the two participants are Paul Lamont and I believe Dr. D. David Schultz. This is David Schultz. I'll presume it's the same one.
Yeah, I'll go with David Schultz. Yeah.
Another doctor on the card. I'll go with Dr. D too.
Dr. D, Dr. D, Dr. D, paging Dr. D. Bing, bing, bing. Party of one, John Stossel calling for Dr. D. Thank God that didn't go over like a fart in church. I was like, damn it. And to my utter surprise, they do not have the advertisement here for the wrestling board game. But they do have this, which I'm sure we all remember, that famous back cover. Wall-to-wall super color excitement where you get the different posters and good stuff like that there. They had one oh, it's there. It's going to be impossible to tell, but this one over here was the Dream Match poster, which I never got. The round-robin tournament between Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan, and Rick Martel. So it was basically a wrestling promotion poster, but it was a fantasy one.
Oh, yeah.
And they have a whole undercard and everything there. It's too small to even attempt. But I do recall seeing it back in the day and knowing that it was pretty kick-ass. All right, before we go... I was mentioning that we are going to have some good times coming up here in the near future. And starting with Tuesday, we're going to be doing the first ever live inside the Creator Studio with ODB. So be sure to set your dials and your alarm clocks.
Hit
and
that
whatever
alarm.
you need. Yeah, that's it, man. My guess at the moment, we're still waiting to iron out the start time, but I'm targeting 7 p.m. Eastern Standard. If it's, well, whatever it is, I'll definitely be posting it at least a day in advance between the Twitter account and the YouTube account. So we'll have the start time up for you. You guys will be able to, what I love about doing it live now is you guys can have some of your questions in there. And if you've seen those other shows that I've done, the other episodes of Inside the Creator Studio, it's based around the concept that James Lipton used to do with Inside the Actor Studio, where you sit down with the actor and you go over their life story and how they got to where they are and all that. And then he turns over the questions to his up-and-coming theater people, and they would ask questions.
Right.
So it's the same basic concept, which now we can do. We didn't have the opportunity to do that until now. So now we can actually go to you guys as well and get some of your questions at the end. So
well, make sure you tweet that out. I'll make sure to retweet it too, because I've got some wrestlers.
Yeah,
I've at least try to get get that extra out there for you. Try to get some more views, brother.
Yeah, I've already tweeted it out myself too. So
yeah, as soon as I get the time, I'm gonna definitely hit it up on Twitter, and I'll make sure you guys are aware of it as well. And then scheduled right now, I'm still working on the time thing, but Thursday of next week, I met a gentleman this past Saturday here where I work, and they had a Comic-Con type event, and he is a guy who does these really cool things. And let's see here. Name is John Crowther. He's not the artist. What he's done, though, and he's really close with Terry Funk. He's spending and still talks to Terry on the Funk 2 to 3 days a week.
Yes, the cartoon.
But he's met with every one of these guys that you see featured here in these different comic books. And they've told him their stories of the road and things like that. And we've all heard, you know, the pranks they play on each other and stuff like that. So what he's doing is, and I haven't read these yet, I got to get through them. What he's doing is he's meeting with these wrestlers, talking with them, getting their stories, and he's writing them out, and then hires artists in comic book form to bring them to life. It's one thing when you hear the stories and they're pretty funny, but the one story he shared with me, and it's in this Terry Funk edition. Terry was riding with, I guess, a younger Rick Martel at the time. And it's after the show's over. They're in the car and they're heading out. And he says, "You know something, Rick? I don't know if you're ready to be with us, but if you are, you'll get out of this car butt naked, run around at one time, and jump back in." Rick Martel got his clothes off, jumped out of the car, ran around it, and Terry Funk drove off before he could get back in. Funny story. Much funnier when you see the illustration of Rick Martel with his dick hanging out, chasing the car. So he will be with us, and there will be, of course, links where we can pick up his stuff. The majority of these books are $5 a piece. He's got this one here in particular with Nikolai Volkov, which was the one that started all of it for him. This particular edition is encapsulating all three Nikolai books. So this is a $10 book, but it has all three of the Nikolai books together. And there was one other one, I forget which one, but he'll talk about it a little bit more when we get to meeting him on Thursday. So those are the two that I've got lined up right now for next week. That's Tuesday night and Thursday night. And then I've got another one I'm working on for either next weekend or shortly thereafter. And I'll give you guys more on that once it's all worked out and I got something that I can confirm. All right. Thank you guys for playing along tonight. This is episode 1. We'll definitely be doing it at least once a week, and that is Pro Wrestling Illustrated, Remembering and or Review and Remembering. I'm going to get that right. We're just going to call PWI R&R. Keep life simple. So I've got boxes of these books, and I'm just going to randomly reach in and pull one out, and whatever one it is, we're going to go through it. All right.
Definitely making my brain have to work.
There you go. Well, that's the fun part of it, is trying to put all the history in your head back together. Who was doing what, when, what you trying to think about WrestleMania, which WrestleMania were we on, and that. But if it's the NWA, then you got to try and really think, okay, if this was WrestleMania 5, what was the NWA doing?
Right.
So anyway, I've had a good time doing this with you guys. I appreciate you taking time to spend time, and we'll be doing it again. So in the meantime, from ringside, for everybody here joining me, we got D-Train and Jay and everybody in the chat boards. We'll be back real soon. In the meantime, be safe, stay safe, and have a great night. And don't forget, Tuesday, join us for some ODB.
This Tuesday, August 30th, the Nation Network is invaded.
Hey, what's up? It's Jesse, the ODB Creasa, one dirty bitch. I got big news, guys.
Find out what happens when Vince McSham goes one-on-one with ODB.
That's right. Jesse, the ODB, wrote a mother trucking book.
Sharing stories about her career and the life after wrestling.
And it's been a hell of a journey, and it's just awesome to finally make a dream come true, and it's all because of you guys.
Pre-order her new book and qualify for possible gifts, including signed ring gear, ring-worn apparel, and 8x10s.
Wrestling's been half my life, and I'm excited to share some little dirt in there. You guys are going to get a kick out of this book. It's funny, and it's me writing it all through my eyes. And yes, if you are a bitch or a dick to me, I'm calling your ass out. Love you all. Thank you for all the support. Bam!
See what happens this Tuesday, August 30th, when ODB invades the Nation Network.